Good afternoon and welcome to Veterans Field here in Coldwater. It is the Division VI District Championship matchup between a pair of Midwest Athletic Conference teams. It's the New Bremen Cardinals, it's the Marion Local Flyers for the District Championship. Our pregame today is brought to you by Betty's Natural Foods, your partner for better health. Come and visit us at Betty's Natural Foods in Osgood. Our opponents today, the New Bremen Cardinals. They came with a win here over Parkway on the other night, on Wednesday night, I guess it was, Dave. So how about giving us a little analysis for the New Bremen Cardinals?
Well, New Bremen comes in hot. They have won 8 of their last games, and that's one of the keys they need to continue with. Play with that confidence, stay hot, and one of the ways they do that is when they get on the bases, they wreak havoc. Second in the Midwest Athletic Conference in stolen bases this season with 85 in the top of their lineup. That's where they really get it done. Owen Bornhorst and Caleb Keller, both really active on the bases, and that will be a key for them, as well as getting that first run across the plate. Whenever you are the underdog, which New Bremen is as the number 4 seed, a 2-7 record in the MAC versus Marion Local's 5-4 record in the MAC, you want to score first, put some pressure on that opponent, and see how things play out in this district championship game.
Let's go through the Cardinals starting lineup. The center field today will be Owen Bornhorst. He will be the leadoff hitter. Caleb Keller is at shortstop. He hits second. Gavin Quellhorst will be in center field, and he will hit third. The cleanup hitter, Dylan Wendt. Today is the designated hitter. He will hit for the pitcher, James Nelson. The 5th spot is Brady Keller in right field. Jack Saylor will be at third base. Numbers 7, 8, and 9 are A.J. Ristmiller, the catcher, the first baseman, Austin Heckman, and the second baseman, Bennett Tinnerman, for Chad Wells, New Bremen Cardinals. The Marion Local Flyers, Dave, they had to kind of hang on the other night. Had a 6-1 lead. It ended up being a 6-5 game when they defeated Columbus Grove. Your analysis tonight of the Flyers.
Well, the Flyers, they did what they needed to do to come away with that victory, but they were tested in the late innings. The 7th inning, Grove put 4 across the board, but Marion Local gets it done. Keys for the Flyers, they want to continue to be very aggressive on the mound. Parker Hess will take the mound for Marion Local. He is 2-1 against New Bremen. He won earlier this season when these two teams matched up. And then Griffin Bruns, he is the kick starter for Marion Local. Leads off their lineup at the shortstop position, and he led the MAC in stolen bases with 19 this season. And then finally, they're going to want that quick start as well. These two teams, they know each other very well. Marion Local comes in hot as well, having won 5 out of their last 6. It's going to be a dandy of a championship game, Mark. And as the old saying goes, let's play some catch.
Let's do that. The Flyers will go this way. They will lead off with Griffin Bruns, who will be the shortstop today. And Rindler will hit second and will be at third base. The third hitter is Ethan Heitkamp. He will catch today. Cleanup hitter is Hayden Peppelman in right field. Number 5 hitter is Bryant Meyer. He is in left. Parker Hess will be the pitcher today, and he will be in the 6th spot. 7, 8, and 9 are Damon Kramer, who is the second baseman. Derek Kanapke at first base, and the designated hitter, Camden Eifert, will hit 9th. And he will hit for the center fielder, Drew Laws. Dave, you mentioned a moment ago, they did play an MAC game during the regular season. The Flyers won 4-0. The same 2 pitchers are on the mound today.
Yeah, Parker Hess came away with the win for Marion Local. He pitched a complete game 1 hitter, 0 runs earned, and then 4 strikeouts, and he gave up 1 walk. James Nelson was the losing pitcher. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run out of those 4 runs that Marion Local scored. He had 8 strikeouts and had 1 walk. Offensively, Marion Local's Ethan Heitkamp was 2 for 3 with a solo home run and a double. And for New Bremen, that 1 hit was by Dylan Wendt. He was 1 for 3 with a triple. Again, these two teams very familiar with each other, and these 2 pitchers, obviously on April 24th, both coaches didn't know this is how it was going to match up, but they're going to go at each other again here in the championship game.
The winner moves into the regionals next week. That's been our Betty's Natural Foods starting lineups. Betty's Natural Foods, your partner for better health. Come and see us at Betty's Natural Foods in Osgood. Opening pitch coming up after this. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Division 6 District Championship matchup today. Our presenting sponsor is Charles River and Spencerville, proud to support area athletes and students. You can visit seariver.com for more information. And our first inning sponsor today is Speedway Lanes in New Bremen, bringing family and friends together for bowling and fun and great food for everyone. We talked a little bit about how the teams offensively were lined up today. The Marion Local Flyers will be on defense first. Let's talk about how they line up today. Ethan Heitkamp will be the catcher. Ian Rindler, who pitched on Wednesday, will be at third. Griffin Bunz at short. Damon Kramer will be the second baseman. Derek Kanapke will be at first. Bryant Meyer is in left. Drew Law is in center. Hayden Peppelman is in right. And the starting pitcher today is Parker Hess. Dave, he's looking at a 1.71 ERA coming in today's contest for Parker.
Yeah, he has 4 wins on the season, 45 strikeouts, and 49 innings pitched. And as you mentioned, at 1.71 ERA, we had him early in the season against Fort Recovery. It was about 40 degrees that day, and he went 8 innings. I'm sure he's pitched in better conditions, but what a beautiful evening, Mark Shine. It is a sun-splashed Veterans Field.
It is 70 degrees here at game time, 6:02 on a Friday evening, and you mentioned the sun, the right field area. It will be a sun field today, and climbing in first is Owen Bornhorst. Owen is the left fielder, hitting .275 on the season. He scored 18 times.
And as we said, it's a key for New Bremen to get Bornhorst on the bases. We saw the speed of New Bremen on Wednesday night. He gets on the bases. They're going to look to push him around.
Ryan Deidemeyer is behind the plate today. Ryan Thompson's at third. Chris Roop is at first, our umpiring crew. That ball's grounded to first. Off the glove of Kanapke, and he will make a flip and beat it out.
And we see that speed right away as Bornhorst fights to get to first before the ball does, and New Bremen reaches on an air.
Bornhorst has 13 steals on the season. Caleb Keller, the shortstop, will step in, a .325 hitter on the season. He was 2 for 3 with a run scored and the only RBI for one of the 3 RBIs for the Cardinals on Wednesday evening.
And that was a tough situation right there, Mark, for Derek Kanapke. He knocked the ball down, but then it squirted away from him again. That's where the error, I think, resulted, as he wasn't able to pick it up cleanly and get to the bag before Bornhorst.
1-0 is the count. That ball's hit to the second baseman, Kramer. He's going to make the easy play with the flip to first base, and they'll get an out, but the runner moves up 1.
Yeah, productive first out for New Bremen as Bornhorst goes to second. He's in scoring position now with Gavin Quellhorst, the first-team max selection, coming to the plate.
Gavin hits .370 on the season, and he pitched a dandy game on Wednesday evening, Dave, and defended really well, too.
He had one of those games that just all the way around is really, really special. His uniform was really dirty.
Shortstop runs cross field, and they got him at first. Good stretch that time by Kanapke. So a 6-3 out. Pair of ground ball outs will bring Dylan Wendt to the plate, the designated hitter today. He hits for the pitcher Nelson.
Quellhorst goes quietly the first time here at Coldwater in the district tournament and keeps Bornhorst at second base due to the Flyers.
Wendt was 1 for 3 and scored a run Wednesday. Breaking ball, missed that one.
Yeah, Parker has nice change of speed with the breaker right there.
His hit was the only hit in the regular season game for the Cardinals. Game won by Marion Local 4-0. That ball's hit up in the air. Law's tracking it down, and he will run it down in right center field. So an opening air. We'll strand a runner at second base, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. No score. You're watching high school tournament baseball, WOSN. To the bottom of the first we go here at Coldwater. Today's premier sponsor is Coleman Interiors in New Bremen. We are proud to partner with you and build your home renovation or make a new build. And our scoreboard sponsor today is Wabash Mutual Telephone, a proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. Defensively, the Bremen Cardinals go this way. A.J. Rissmiller is behind the plate. Jack Saylor's at third. Caleb Keller is the shortstop. Brett Tinnerman will be at second. Austin Heckmer will be at first base. In the outfield, left, center, right, Owen Bornhorst, Gavin Quellhorst, and Brady Keller. On the mound, Dave, James Nelson, a 7-4 record on the season for James.
Yeah, 7-4. You might say Gavin Quellhorst is their number one, and maybe James Nelson is 1A. With 60 innings pitched, he's right there with Quellhorst as the number of pitches he's thrown this year. He's got one save to his name as well. He's given up 47 hits and 36 runs. 22 were earned. He's got 66 strikeouts, 28 walks. He's hit 8 batters, and he has a 2.57 ERA.
Climbing in to hit first for the Marion local Flyers will be Griffin Bruns. Griffin's a .299 hitter. He scored 22 runs. He's also knocked in at 7 on the season. And Dave, he's one of those guys who can wheel it because he's got 19 stolen bases as well.
Yeah, first in the Midwest Athletic Conference in that category. And again, Coach Mitchell Hayes has said that Bruns jump starts our offense. New Bremen tried to do the same thing with Bornhorst in the top of the first. Marion Local defensively kept him at second. Let's see what Marion Local can do with their leadoff hitter.
Sailors in on the cut of the grass at third. Ball says inside and down a bit. 1-0. Ian Rindler's on deck, followed by Ethan Heitkamp. 1-1.
Nelson's delivery, he really gets that ball away from his ear out in the three-quarter socket area, and he brings it from that perspective. There's a bunt attempt.
Trying to get himself on, and that allows Saylor to back up a bit at third base as he had been playing on the cut of the grass. Now the count's 1-2. Shortstop. A year ago, he was the center fielder for this team. And we're looking down the line, trying to figure out what's going on with this one, Dave.
Yeah, I think we got a situation with the pitch comm, with the catcher communicating with the coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said Bruns was a center fielder, a big play last year in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
District championship game against Fort Recovery.
Talk about that here as the game progresses. Ball's hit foul. Popped up over the shortstop's head. Bruns was in center field. He picked up the loose ball and realized that the hitter, Grise, was trying to score on a triple and score. And so we ended up with a diving play.
Look at this. We got nobody covering second base.
And he hustles, and nobody's covering third either.
Unbelievable.
And he gets all the way in third. There's nobody at the plate. And he will, did he get him? Got him.
I have never seen that in high school, but never. Unbelievable. Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen that before. In fact, single, double, triple, what do we call that? He just kept
a triple.
He just kept right on running. And then finally he gets caught out at the plate, and I don't know who handled the ball how many times.
Center fielder.
Center fielder made the play.
He ran all the way in because the ball fell right in front of him, and shortstop and second baseman were there.
Yeah.
He chases him all the way to third, all the way to home plate, and caught him.
Wow, what a play. Here's the pitch. That ball's grounded. Here comes the shortstop in, Keller.
Going to be tough.
Can he make it? He safe. He beat it out. Infield hit for Griffin Bruns. And, well, you talk about speed. He picked that ball up in short center field, raced home, dove, and tagged Grise out at the plate. First time I've ever written down triple and out 8 unassisted at the plate.
8 unassisted.
How about that?
And he just showed the wheels again right there as Marion Local gets that leadoff hitter on. Let's see if they look to push him around via the bunt.
Rindler hits 383 or 333 on the season. Shows bunt, takes a strike. He pitched a masterful game, Dave, for about 6 innings Wednesday night. Ran out of gas a little bit, got to the 7th, and had to bring in Bryant Meyer to close it out, but still the winning pitcher in our game on Wednesday evening.
Jack Saylor inside the baselines at third, creeping in.
Shows bunt again, pulled the bat back, it's 1-1. Rindler was not only effective on the mound, he was 2 for 3, scored twice, had an RBI.
Had a double in there.
Snap throw, got him back. Nelson has pitched this is his third start, I should say, against the Flyers. He lost a game as a junior last year, now back this year facing them. Shows bunt again, got to push it foul, and it will go to 1-2. Tried to be a little bit too fine with that, perhaps, Dave.
Mm-hmm. You want to go first base side because obviously we've mentioned Sailors crashing in from third.
Ethan Heitkamp's on deck. And got him looking.
Froze him.
He did.
Froze him at the plate for the called strikeout.
Our first strikeout today. Our strikeouts today are brought to you by Homewood Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. And it's our first strikeout. This will bring Heitkamp in. Ethan, the catcher.
Heitkamp, the catcher, also the leader of this Marion local squad. And when the guy that's facing everybody else on defense is your leader, that's just a bonus for the coach. And Coach Hayes really appreciates what he's done for this Flyers team in that respect.
Boy, had to jump back. Griffin Brunstad was set to go and held up. He got past the cut in the grass and held up a bit. Came back to the bag as Nelson stepped off. 0-1.
Yeah, Nelson varying his looks.
Swinging strike. In the game they played in the regular season, Heitkamp's home run was the only earned run of the game that Nelson gave up. Talked to Michael Hearn, the radio guy down from us. He said they played April 24th and the ball's not landed yet. Shattered his bat. Is it caught? Nope. A diving attempt and unable to catch the ball.
I've seen that one other time.
My goodness.
An aluminum bat that breaks. I saw it happen in softball.
Break it. He just shattered that thing off at the handle.
And that surprises you as a batter as much as anything because, again, these aren't wood bats.
That's going to go as a hit on the scoreboard. Difficult ball to field as it was out near second base. The shortstop, Keller, made a dive for it, unable to get it. Now Hayden Peppelman steps in. 309 hitter, got 21 RBIs on the season, left-handed hitter.
2 on, 1 out. Right now the baseball gods favoring Marion local. They have 2 infield hits.
Up the middle it goes to the center fielder and over his head. Quellhorst tracks it down. Here comes the play at the plate. Nope, going to hold the ball to second. And Heitkamp's going to get him started. Peppelman's going to get him started with a line drive hit over the center fielder's head. That will be a hit and an RBI.
They talk about the hardest ball to judge as an outfielder is the one that's hit right at you. And you could see Gavin Quellhorst dancing out there a little bit. Didn't know if it was in front or behind. And then when he made the adjustment, he gets a glove on it. But it's a hit and an RBI.
Bryant Meyer steps in. He shows bunt and pushes it foul. Bryant Meyer, 306 average on the season. He's got 16 RBIs. He was 1 for 3 on Wednesday with a run and an RBI. So 0-1 is the count. Flyers on the board already, and Nelson needs to get out of this without giving up any more damage. That ball's ripped to the first baseman and under his glove. Going to send a runner, and that gets by the right fielder as well. Here's the throw coming into the middle of the diamond, and finally gets cut off, and it's going to allow the runner to move up.
Brady Keller panicked a little bit out there in right field. It got through his legs, but he recovered quickly, but then he just fired the ball into the infield towards the pitcher's mound, and nobody in the vicinity. A.J. Rissmiller had to come up the line. Lucky and fortunate are the New Bremen Cardinals that more damage wasn't done.
Yeah, they call that an error on the first baseman. And Parker Hess will step in. That takes a pitch outside. Parker Hess, 333 average on the season with 18 RBIs. He's looking at a pair of them out there now at second and third.
Most improved player on this team for Marion local.
Swings to the breaking ball and misses.
But right now, Marion Local looking to put a crooked number up here in the bottom of the first, trying to run away and hide early on.
Damon Kramer's on deck. That's roped up the middle. That's going to bring in one. We'll see what Quellhorst throw does. Comes into second, but they hold the runner at third. An RBI hit for Parker Hess. And the Flyers are off to a great start with a 3-0 lead.
Nice piece of hitting there by Hess, just waiting for that ball to come across the meat of the plate, and he drives it right up the middle. We're going to have a conference at the mound for New Bremen.
They have just a single out as Damon Kramer's going to step in. Damon's the second baseman. He hits .286 on the season. This is just a settle everybody down thing, Dave. They've been a little shaky defensively. They've given up 4 hits and 3 runs already, and they just kind of need to get everybody settled down a little bit.
Absolutely, and this is not what you want to have happen, obviously, if you're New Bremen. Marion Local, they're like, okay, let's keep digging here. But, yeah, Coach Wells goes out there to talk to his team a little bit, and not necessarily a checkup from the neck up because the focus is there. They've just got to execute a little bit better defensively.
Let's go around and set the dimensions here. It's 335 down the left field line, 348 to right center, about 380 out into just to the right of center field, plus the terrace out there. 345 down the right field alley, and then 315 down the right field line as Kramer steps in, and Nelson back on the mound as the coach gets back into the dugout. Runners on first and third. Parker Hess with a great lead at first.
There he goes.
And there he goes.
Yep.
They got him picked off, and they got a tag. Here's the play at the plate, and the throw's a bit errant, and with that, Bryant Meyer dives into home plate safely.
Great execution by New Bremen as far as getting Hess between first and second. They didn't have to throw the ball around much at all. They had a play at the plate, but Tinnerman's throw goes awry. Marion Local picks up another run.
They got an out on the throw down that got Hess. It had a chance at the plate, but unable to secure it. Kramer steps in. That pitch is high.
That we're going to see a very unconventional double play to get out of the inning for New Bremen, but instead, Kramer at the plate, bases empty with 2 outs.
Swinging strike. So I looked around the outfield, Dave. The Reds are in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Those people sitting on that stone embankment out there remind me of those people sitting across the street on Waverly Avenue.
Yeah, and those aren't free seats either.
No, they're not either.
When they are here, obviously, but at Wrigley Field, you're paying for those. You're not even in the stadium, but you're paying for your seat to watch the game from that angle.
Pitches down, makes it 3-1.
I'd like to do that sometime.
But didn't Tom Browning do that?
Yeah, he was out there in center field at the scoreboard.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, you're right.
No,
you're right.
Yep. The people
he
across
did.
The street.
Yep.
Breaking ball is high, and that's a 5-pitch walk. First walk so far given up.
So the Flyers keep the momentum going here with 2 outs, a base on balls. Puts a runner on first, 4 across here in the bottom of the first. And again, this is what Marion Local did to Columbus Grove in the semifinal, where they plated 5 runs in the bottom of the first.
Derek Kanapke, the first baseman, steps in, 275 hitter. Kramer's got a couple of stolen bases on the season. That ball's hit up the middle. And they get the 5th hit of the inning as Kanapke rips one up the middle. And Kramer moves to second base. They batted around. Camden Eifert, the DH, steps in, a 286 hitter. He hits for Drew Laws, the center fielder.
We mentioned in the pregame that Quellhorst and Nelson both have pitched right around 60 innings each. It really drops off after that.
That ball's hit up in the air. Long run and over the head of the right fielder, Keller. That's going to plate 1. It's going to bring a second in, and we're going to get a double for Camden Eifert and a pair of RBIs.
Marion Local batting practice right now in the bottom of the first. They've been helped by an error in the field by New Bremen, but a little shock and all by the Flyers. Up 6-0, and they turn the lineup over.
6 hits, 6 runs. Griffin Brunn steps in. He started this with a single of the infield variety. Scored the first run. 2 outs. Breaking ball strike. Up a bit in the zone, but strike.
And obviously Gavin Quellhorst, he can't come in and pitch tonight. He went over the limit and just pitched 48 hours ago.
In the dirt. Good job by Rissmiller to keep it going to the screen. 1-1. Nelson back to the plate. That's hit up in the air. Foul. Can the first baseman get to it? Drifted over. And he made the catch in foul territory. Out of our view, but Heckman tracks it down. The inning comes to an end. It's a very productive one for the Flyers. The Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard has them 6-0 after 1. You're watching high school tournament baseball, WOSN. We go to the top of the second inning here from Veterans Field in Coldwater. And Cardinals facing an uphill battle now. There we'll go with Brady Keller, Jack Saylor, and A.J. Rissmiller against Parker Hess.
5, 6, and 7. It is imperative for New Bremen just to play one pitch at a time here. You can't get it all back in one at bat. You just got to go base by base and try and put a dent in this 6-run deficit.
That ball's lined over the head of Bruns. Laws picks it up, and the 345 hitting Keller does just what Dave suggested. Let's get on base and make something happen with opening single.
Solid way to start the inning for New Bremen.
266 hitting. Jack Saylor will step in, the third baseman.
He leads the the Cardinals with 6 doubles on the season. Second in RBIs with 16.
That ball's lined over the head of the first baseman. Peppelman's going to make the pickup, and here's the ball back in the infield quickly. But the Cardinals start out with a pair of base hits here in the second inning.
Good medicine for New Bremen right now. It's going to be imperative that they bring these guys around, try and get some runs on the board here in the top of the second, quench that momentum that Marion Local has established. Getting the first 2 on, a good way to start it.
A.J. Rissmiller will step in to hit. He's the catcher, hitting 369. Austin Heckman's on deck. Big lead at first base without being held on. Obviously, out's more important right now than that runner. Here's a bunt out in front of the plate. And Hess bobbles it, throws, doesn't get him.
They go with the sacrifice, but as a result, we've got an error, and New Bremen has the bases loaded now with nobody out. You like the fight, the stick-to-itiveness of this Cardinal club. Now they got to plate some runs, but I didn't know if Coach Wells would give up the out, per se, with the bunt to move the runners up, but it's early on. He gives up the out, in a sense, with the bunt, but the error, nobody out, bases loaded.
Austin Heckman steps in. Number 8 hitter in the lineup takes a ball. Austin hits 276 on the season. Did not come to the plate in the opening game of this district tournament in the semifinal action. And he swings through that pitch. 1-1. Bennett Timmerman's on deck. That pitch is on the outside part of the plate and a strike. You know, Parker Hess spent a lot of time in the dugout, Dave. That was a long first inning, perhaps those 7 or 8 warm-up tosses. Didn't quite get him loosened up a bit, and let's see if he gets it going here.
Yeah, he does look like he's got a little more velocity with this at-bat than he did in the previous 3.
Pitches outside. 2-2's the count.
Heckman, the number 8 hitter for the Cardinals, could really do some damage here.
And struck him out.
Hess puts it up in his eyes. Heckman can't stay off of it. That's our first out of the inning.
Also the first strikeout for Parker Hess. Strikeouts today brought to you by Homewood Insurance. And the number 9 hitter, Bennett Timmerman, steps in. Bennett's a 193 hitter on this, 192 hitter on the season with 7 RBIs. There's a strike.
Ian Rindler at third, really playing in on the grass, thinking maybe a squeeze, safety squeeze, but you really don't see that very often with a left-handed batter in this situation, also with just 1 out.
Tried to go with the same spot with that one, missed it a bit outside. Bornhorst is on deck.
6-0 lead in the second inning.
Tinnerman with his foot on the chalk in the back of the batter's box.
High strike and a swinging strike makes it 1-2.
Parker Hess has taken it to another level here the last 2
He
batters.
really has, hasn't he? Yep.
Fourth outing against this team. 1.71 run average for him coming into today.
And time called by the batter. Tinnerman steps back.
Bremen 5-2 last year with 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, but none of them were earned. Struck out 90, hit a guy, just didn't like him. And 95 pitches. 2023 was his loss.
That ball's fouled away. Staying alive is Bennett Timmerman.
Hess goes down and in with that pitch. That's a tough spot for a left-handed hitter. Tinnerman does a great job of fighting it off. Look for Hess to go up and away again. He's had success there.
Another foul ball. Here's a surprise, Dave. We got 2 Mid-American, 2 Midwest Athletic Conference teams playing, and we got a great crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
These people follow, don't they?
Most definitely. And when you know you're going to this facility at Coldwater, you know it's going to be a great experience anyway. Great sight lines all the way around the park.
1-2.
Good plate discipline right there by Bennett Tinnerman.
But Rindler's way in on the grass.
He sure is.
Third. He seems, I think
even
he keeps
with
getting
2
closer,
strikes.
Yeah. And he keeps creeping in as well. And that pitch also is wide, so good job by Tinnerman to run the count full. 7 pitches in this at-bat already. This will be pitch number 8 right here.
And it's a big one.
No place to put him. He's going to step back out again.
Bennett Tinnerman, a sophomore.
Hess back to the plate, and he walked the run in.
Great at-bat by Bennett Tinnerman.
Absolutely. Brady Keller scores from third. Everybody moves up 1. And an RBI on the walk for Tinnerman makes it 6-1, and will bring Bornhorst back to the plate. He was on by an error in the opening inning.
We mentioned Tinnerman was a sophomore. New Bremen starts 3 seniors, 5 juniors, 1 sophomore, and 1 freshman.
Still just 1 out. That ball's grounded under the first baseman's glove again. That's going to be 1 run. Peppelman's throw to the plate's offline, and 2 runs scored.
So New Bremen.
Here they come.
Yes, having a great top of the second. Marion Local made the call in the bottom of the first with 6. The Cardinals looking to answer here in the top of the second. They've got 3 now.
Balls scored and hit, and 2 runs scored. 2 RBI then will be chalked up as Saylor scored and Rissmiller scored. And Tinnerman moved all the way to third. With still just 1 out. Caleb Keller in. Good scoop by Heitkamp.
They have 3 errors up there on the board for Marion Local. Am I missing that? Did they? I think they may have called that an error.
Did they?
They only have 2 on the book up to that point.
All right. We'll have to go back and
we'll double check that.
Yeah, exactly. That ball's hit and a line drive to Bruns. Here's a throw to first. And that was a good job at first base by Kanapke to knock that one down. Line drive to the shortstop will be the second out of the inning and bring Quellhorst to the plate.
Quellhorst, as we said, a great game Wednesday night. First team max selection. Leads this team with hits, so 27, 17 RBIs, 24 runs scored, 18 stolen bases. A little base hit here would score at least one.
That's a strike. And Dave, you are correct. They did score an error on the first baseman on the ball that was hit by Bornhorst, so we'll take away those 2 RBIs from him. 0-1. Now 0-2. Quellhorst grounded out to the shortstop in the opening inning.
We've got ourselves some fireworks. This may be a high-scoring affair.
There goes the runner to second base. Turns and looks, and they got him hung up. Here's a play at the plate, and got him.
Great execution,
How
yes.
about Parker Hess?
Did a great job of just taking his time, stepping off the back of the rubber. Gets the ball to his second baseman. They cut the runner off at home.
But it's a good run and a good inning for the Cardinals as they pick up 3 runs. That cut the deficit in half. It'll be 6-3 as we go to the bottom of the second. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. To the bottom of the second we go. The second inning's brought to you by Speedway Lanes in New Bremen. They bring family and friends together with bowling and fun and great food for everyone. And 6-3 now. And leading off will be Ian Rindler.
Yeah, again, great job by Parker Hess there. He stepped off the back of the rubber to get that last out, then ran towards the runner, and I inadvertently thought he threw it to second, but he didn't. He just turned and fired it home, and they got the lead runner to end the inning.
Ball's hit up in the air. Let's see who makes the play on it. Looks like Nelson's got first beat on it, and he grabs it.
Pitcher only overrules the catcher in the infield, but he was the only one who could get that one, and he takes care of it for the first out of the inning, does Nelson.
You know, they don't let Major League Baseball pitchers catch those, but in high school baseball, the pitcher's oftentimes one of your best athletes.
Correct.
Let him catch it. Mm-hmm. Here's Heitkamp. Heitkamp had a hit and a run scored. Good break ball. Took something off of it. Peppelman's on deck.
Ran his hitting streak to 10 last time he was up.
Heitkamp, first team all-conference player in the MAC. Slow breaking ball there. Nelson lost his glove in the process.
He's out there chuckling about it a little bit.
You know what? All that motion out there, and then you have the batter swing and miss on an off-speed pitch. 0-2. Curveball's inside. 1-2. 368 hitter on the season. And he strikes out swinging.
Nelson looking to have a clean inning here in the second after that tough first inning where he gave up 6 runs. He's 1 out away from doing just that and keeping momentum with the Cardinals going into the top of the third inning.
Holman Insurance is our strikeout sponsor today. Your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. Peppelman had a hit and an RBI, scored a run in that opening 6-run inning.
Peppelman leads this team with 7 home runs. That was first in the Midwest Athletic Conference this season. And the Flyers overall led the league in home runs with 13.
1-1's the count.
His teammate Ethan Heitkamp was second in the league with 4 home runs.
Foul ball. You know what I like about Heitkamp, though? He's a catcher with 17 stolen bases.
Yeah, there's some speed right there.
That's an athlete in your catcher spot. 1-2's the count.
Second on the team with those 17 thefts.
That ball's hit up the middle. Peppelman goes 2 for 2 as he drills that one up his middle.
So the clean inning will not be for James Nelson, but he'd love to strand Peppelman at first, but it'll be a challenging task with the 306 hitting Bryant Meyer at the plate.
Bryant was on by an error in the opening inning. He eventually scored a run. Peppelman has stolen 8 bases this year. Breaking ball. 1-0 is the count. Strike. Ball tailed away from him a bit.
Tailed away, and again, if you take note, just the nuances of James Nelson out there, he always does something a little different when he's in the stretch just to keep that runner at bay. Varies his looks.
Foul ball, makes it 1-2.
Varies his pauses. Sometimes he comes to the plate quickly. Sometimes there's more of a delay. Just very impressive, because a lot of times when you adjust your rhythm like that, Mark, you have a hard time finding the strike zone.
1-2. Foul ball. Bryant Meyer would be the next hitter if, excuse me, not Bryant, Parker Hess would be the next hitter if Meyer can get on base. Here goes Peppelman. Here's the throw at second, and safe.
Nice job. Peppelman got a really good jump. Actually, I feel like A.J. Rissmiller made that play closer than it was going to be. A good throw down to second base, but Peppelman gets underneath the tag, and with 2 outs, the Flyers have Peppelman in scoring position.
With the jump he got, Dave, I thought this is a no contest.
Exactly.
But that was a good throw.
Sure was.
2-2 was the count. And a bit inside as Meyer takes one and runs the count full. And that pitch is down, and he walked him. So Meyer will walk. Second walk of the game for James Nelson, and Parker Hess will enter.
So Nelson again, he got the first 2 guys out in this inning, but now the Flyers have put him in a position where he's laboring a little bit. 2 on, 2 outs. Parker Hess, a second-team max selection at the plate.
That ball's grounded. Shortstop Keller, and it goes off his glove. They're going to send him. Here comes Peppelman to the plate, and he will score the 7th Flyer run.
That ground ball, I had the perfect angle on a Mark. It was jumping right, jumping left, jumping right. It was a wiggler back and forth and just too tough. It's going to be an error on Caleb Keller, but that one just didn't have a bearing where he could really hone in on it. And as a result, the Flyers, with 2 outs, they put another run across the plate.
On the Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard, it goes to 7-3 in favor of the Flyers. Here comes Kramer to step in with 2 men on and 2 outs. Foul ball. Pitch that was inside and jammed him. He walked and scored, did Kramer, in the opening inning. It's a strike at the knees. 0-2. Kramer was 0 for 1, but scored a run thanks to a walk in the Wednesday night game. Nelson with an 0-2 count, and that ball's hit up in the air. Here comes the left fielder in, Bornhorst, and he can't get to it. A long runner's a throw to third, and got him. But the run scored at the plate on the hit, and it will go to an 8-3 lead for the Marion local Flyers. We go to the third. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Back at Veterans Field here in Coldwater, it's now an 8-2 lead for the Marion local Flyers. Today's premier sponsor is Home Interiors in New Bremen. We're ready to partner with you on your home renovation or your new build. Our scoreboard sponsor today is Wabash Mutual Telephone, a proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. And Gavin Quellhorst will step in for New Bremen to open up the third. He was at the plate last inning when that out was occurred.
It's not mission critical, but Quellhorst wants to get on base, obviously, right here. Try and keep this game an offensive display for both teams, because the defense has been challenged with Marion Local having 3 errors up to this point, New Bremen with 2. And the 6-run deficit now for
that ball's
New Bremen.
Hit down the third base line, and hey, a nice play down there by Rindler over the shoulder catch. It's a tough play, Dave. Good catch.
Yeah, did a nice job of reading it. He was by the home plates for the bullpen as well. Had to navigate that. But that's a big first out of the inning for Marion Local.
Earlier, Dave, we talked about the sun field. The sun's behind the clouds right now. If that sun would have been out, that would have made it even more difficult than what we just had as Wentz steps in. Flied out to center field, his only appearance today. And he's swinging a strike on a breaking ball.
Good cut by Went right there. Parker Hess with the 6-run lead, just coming straight to the plate.
That ball's grounded to third. Rindler picks it up, and the call is foul. Home plate umpire took a long look at it. That is his call, correct?
Yes.
Until the ball gets past third base.
And rightly so, because Ryan Thompson down at third base was shielded by the play by the third baseman in one Ian Rindler. But yes, Ryan Diedemeyer with the foul call. 0-2 the count.
0-2 it is. Hess back to the plate. And he got a high strike swinging. So we get a strikeout. That is the second. Is that correct,
That's
Dave?
correct.
I have 2 of them anyway. Strikeouts brought to you by Home Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles.
Parker Hess going to try and do what James Nelson was unable to do in the last half inning, have a clean inning. Nelson had 2 outs, nobody on, and then Marion Local was able to plate 2 runs.
Brady Keller steps in. Brady singled and scored last inning. That ball's hit up in the air. Laws has a beat on it and makes the play. A fly out to center field. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Hess. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's 8-3 Flyers. You're watching high school tournament baseball, WOSN. Today's baseball game is presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. Our third inning sponsor today is Speedway Lanes in New Bremen. Bring family and friends together with bowling fun and great food for everyone. We go to the bottom of the third, and the Flyers will send up Kanapke, Eifert, and then turn the lineup over to Griffin Bruns.
Nelson,
top of the order.
Yeah, Nelson again. It's going to be imperative that he works really, really hard here as he faces the bottom of the Marion Local lineup. The only problem is Kanapke and Eifert are both 1 for 1 thus far.
Yeah.
He's going to have to reverse the trend and try and get the Cardinals back in the dugout and swing in the bats.
Kanapke singled, scored, knocked in a run. The second hitter of the inning, Eifert, doubled, knocked in 2 in the opening inning. Breaking ball's hit up in the air. Bornhorst tracks it down, and the left fielder makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll go to Camden Eifert, 286 hitter, and again, a double with 2 RBI back in inning number 1. Part of that 6-run first inning. The DH today is Eifert, pitched outside. 275 hitter, 286 hitter on the season. Lights are on, Dave.
Yeah, the overcast sky. I can see why they've flipped the switch.
Yep.
Started with sunny skies.
Makes it 1-1 on the count.
Best thing, though, is that four-letter word called rain is not anywhere in the vicinity. Keep it away, Mark.
1 and 2. Yeah, we got to the Memorial Day. It rained down there, but that's a rule. It has to rain during the Memorial one day,
yep.
I think.
Yep.
Big golf tournament in Columbus. Breaking ball, and that's a strike. Makes it 2-2. Good pitch. Griffin Bruns on deck.
Yeah, real good pitch by James Nelson.
See if he comes back to it. Breaking ball was outside that time. Tried to get him to fish. And the count goes full.
I don't think James Nelson has the control right now that he's accustomed to. Trying to find it a little bit throughout this game.
And he gets a walk.
And he's not off by much. He doesn't have walks per se in this game. I think he has one up to this point in time.
I think that's the third one, I think.
That's 3. You're right. That is number 3.
And here's Griffin Bruns.
It's just that he hasn't been able to paint the black of the strike zone effectively, and Marion Local's been able to sit on his fastball. And
singled and scored a run, did Bruns, in the opening inning. And that ball's hit up in the air. He fouled out to the first baseman his last time up, and nope, just over the fence. Now, see, Jacob O'Neill's in the way. Jacob O'Neill, one of our premier camera people, standing on top of the dugout, the New Bremen dugout, and I could not see the play, but it's
well, he's the one with the camera. He's the one that's going to get the shot, and that's what's most important for our viewers.
0-1. I'm pretty sure nobody turned this on to listen to what we had to say. They want to watch these young men play baseball. There's a bunt. That's a good one.
Sure is.
That's a really good one. The third baseman, Saylor, got to it, but nothing he could do with it but knock it down. That's a bunt for a hit. That was a really good one.
Yeah, he put it just to the right of the pitcher's mound, and with Nelson falling off to the left side or the first base side of the pitcher's mound, no place to go defensively. That's a single, 2 on now with 1 out for Marion Local.
You know, Dave, we talked about that play a year ago where Griffin Bruns had to make a play at the plate. Nobody covered third, allowed Grisey to get there. Barnhorst just covered third base, the left fielder.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's a baseball player and knows where he belongs, and that kept Eifert from moving up to third because the left fielder, Barnhorst, came in and covered the third base bag.
And good coaching as well.
Absolutely.
You want the defense. Yep. Every player should be moving on every live ball.
Rendler's 0 for 2 today, and that's going to be a chopper to Saylor. Taylor's going to make the play at third. He's going to throw across the diamond and beat it out. So a fielder's choice for Rendler. And Eifert goes down 5 unassisted. And good wheels by Griffin Bruns as he moves up to third on that.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough play for Saylor right there, but he tried to get the double play to help his pitcher out, but as a result, Bruns moves to third, and now we have, again, runners on the corners, but we do have 2 outs in the inning. Nelson looking for his first 0 up there on the scoreboard.
Heitkamp with a hit and a strikeout today. Big, slow breaking ball will stay high. Got 4 home runs on the season, as Dave said a moment ago. And one of them was against Nelson in a regular season game. There goes the runner. He steps off, and they got him hung up, and got him.
And they got him before Bruns was able to score, so no run for Marion Local in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, they looked at the home plate umpire, and he said, nope, didn't score. Good play. That'll bring it the third to a close with the Flyers on top, 8-3. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Our scoreboard shows the Marion Local Flyers with 8 and Bremen Cardinals with 3. Tonight's scoreboard sponsors Wabash Mutual Telephone, a proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. And the 4th inning is brought to you by Speedway Lanes in New Bremen. They bring family and friends together with bowling, fun, and great food for everyone. You know, Dave, that reed says bowling fun.
Yeah.
When I bowl, Yeah, everybody else is having fun. I guess I can enjoy that, right?
Anytime you get a chance to throw some rocks, it's a good day.
That's a good thing. Here's Saylor to step in.
See if New Bremen can make a little bit of noise here in the top of the fourth, as we had our first scoreless inning there with the third inning.
You know, Dave, at one time I taught a class in Bellevue on sport history.
Okay.
So, foul ball. The original game of bowling had just 9 pins.
All right.
Okay, and the British in New England said, you guys are fooling around too much with bowling, with this game called 9 pins, so you can no longer play 9 pins. So the Colonials added a 10th pin. There's a line drive over the head of the second baseman. That's going to fall.
Here come the Cardinals in the top of the fourth. They get their leadoff hitter on in Jack Saylor.
Of course, to finish that.
I was going to say.
Okay.
Colonials
if the game
and the British.
was still 9 pins, I'd be pretty good. Because I can
know,
get 9.
yeah. The 7 or 10, they're always sitting there.
Exactly. That 10th pin is always the one that gets me. It was actually shaped like a diamond as opposed to a triangle, and that kind of fits in with our baseball diamond here.
Okay.
Leadoff hitter on, and Saylor gets on base here in the fourth. It's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman, Kramer. And here's the throw to first. That was kind of a slowly hit ball. It's the only play he had, and he makes the correct one on Rissmiller.
It's a productive out as Saylor does get to second. I thought for a second Saylor made the wrong decision as he was going to run into the tag, but he was able to get past Damon Kramer and Ryan Thompson on the call right there. Actually, that was Chris Roop making that call, safe at second and then out at first.
Here's Heckman to step in. Struck out in his only appearance today. Takes a strike.
Did a good job of bringing that bowling story back to baseball with the diamond. Yes.
25 years, my man. Been doing this a long time and a very enjoyable time. Here's a bunt that's up in the air. How about Heitkamp? Throw to second base. Well, we mentioned earlier, Heitkamp's got the 17 stolen bases. He got out of that crouch and got to that ball in a hurry and caught the ball in fair territory, made a great play.
He exploded to the baseball right there, and he was thinking second.
Yep.
From the get-go, makes the catch as Heckman tried to bunt for a base hit right there. And instead, we've got 2 outs now, again with Jack Saylor at second.
Bennett Tinnerman will step in. He takes a breaking ball that's a bit up. Close pitch.
Yeah, that was a close pitch. Might have been right at the top of the strike zone, but it benefits Tinnerman. He walked his first time up at the plate, and he does have a great eye.
That ball's hit up in the air. Here's the left fielder coming in to make the play, and Bryant Meyer does that. So an opening single, stranded to second base. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 8-3 Flyers. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. The Flyers come calling in the bottom of the fourth. They will do so with an 8-3 lead. And the first hitter for them will be Ethan Heitkamp, who was at the plate last inning when the final out occurred on a 1-4 play. Good play by Nelson last time. Heitkamp today has singled and struck out. One of the 2 strikeouts that Nelson has recorded on the mound today. Breaking balls outside.
Yeah, that's the pitch he just hasn't been able to catch the outer third of the plate with. When he's thrown it for a strike, it's ended up being over the middle, and Marion Locals made him pay for it.
Foul ball. Makes the count 1-1 here, opening up the fourth. Peppelman's on deck, followed by Bryant Meyer. Fouled back to the catcher, makes it 1-2.
Yeah, good fastball right there after throwing a couple of breakers.
Of course, Dave, by the time this game airs, everybody will know this, but we just found out Pitches inside 2-2 from Michael Hearn. But Elmwood defeated Lakota today 7-4. So the winner of this game will play Elmwood at Patrick Henry on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pitch in the dirt. Full count.
New Bremen, they're battling here, Mark. They've got to have a clean inning and get in there and swing the bats. And right now, you can just sort of feel if Marion Local can get some runners on, they might be able to just put this one out of reach. I really feel like this bottom of the fourth, it's a big inning for both clubs right here.
Looking at 3, 4, and 5 hitters, and that pitch is outside. So Heitkamp will walk and bring up Peppelman, who's only 2 for 2 today, scored 2 runs and knocked 1 in.
Yeah, it's not Halloween season, but walks will haunt, especially when it's the leadoff batter of the inning. And when you bring up Peppelman, a very, very good hitter for Marion Local, you're playing with the Kenny Loggins danger zone right now if you're New Bremen.
Looks down to Coach Hayes to get the signs and takes one that's down. Ball 1. Bryant Myers on deck. Bryant's been on twice, once by a walk and once by air, but scored both times. Heitkamp goes, and it's a foul ball. Had to hit and run on, and it goes to 1-1 is the count. And Heitkamp have to head back to first.
Yeah, Coach Mitch Hayes was down there flashing the signals. Peppelman gave it a long look. Mitch Hayes in his 5th season at Marion Local, 50 and 56 overall.
They got to this game, this district final, a year ago before losing to Fort Recovery. Fort Recovery then went on all the way to the state championship game before losing to Berlin Highland, and Peppelman calls timeout.
Yeah, Jack Saylor came running in hard from third base. I think they were trying to see if they could get a read as to whether Heitkamp was going to try and steal second and give Nelson an opportunity to step off the bag. But even though Peppelman's left-handed, I wouldn't want to come in there too closely at third base.
You talk about playing somebody as a pull hitter. They're all pulled around towards right. The right fielder, Brady Keller, getting close to the line and deep. Quellhorst is in right center, and Bornhorst is in left center. So there's a lot of room down the left field line should he choose to go that way. But this is a dead pull hitter right here. Fouls that one.
Yeah, Saylor's down at third in the grass, and he's getting in his stance like he's playing dodgeball. He's got the glove up in front of his face.
1-2 is the count as Saylor goes back to the third base area.
Last time I seen a third baseman in that far, a guy named Pete Rose when Mickey Rivers was batting for the New York Yankees back in 1976. It was a couple days ago.
Well, I'll tell you how long ago it was. I was in the stands that series.
Wow, that's great.
Opening game, I was at the top of Riverfront Stadium, 1 row from the top.
Awesome.
I do. 2-2.
4-0 sweep by the Red Legs.
Yes, sir. That ball's hit. It's high, and it's going out there where Brady Keller has time to camp underneath it. That ball was up in the air a long time. Big fly ball from Peppelman, but it still goes as an out. My wife wanted a picture of Pete Rose.
Okay.
From the next to last row behind home plate of Riverfront Stadium, all 9 players are in the picture. That's how high up
you didn't have the zoom lens?
No, we did not have the zoom lens. It is 1 out, and Heitkamp is still on at first.
You were in the Bob Uecker seats.
Well, yeah, I guess that would be it. And Heitkamp was running again. He says, come on, fellas, I got to go back to first base again.
He did. He put his hands up on his helmet.
Well, you know, when you're a catcher, your legs take enough of a beating without having to scurry back and forth between first and second base. Bryant Myers steps in, and Parker Hess is on deck.
Yeah, Heitkamp sort of acted like maybe Meyer was supposed to have the take on right there.
Dives back in.
Either that or he just felt very, very confident that he had second base stolen and then the ball was fouled off.
One and one. I believe I have the correct year, Dave. That year, Johnny Bench led Major League Baseball in stolen base percentage. He was 12 for 12.
Is that good?
That's as a catcher? Yeah, as anybody, but
That's
as
called,
a catcher.
Yeah, that's called picking your spots.
Here's a run. Heitkamp is going to go. Ball got loose. That was going to be really close. I was waiting for the call, but we're going to give a stolen base to Heitkamp.
And he picked his spot effectively right there to put himself in scoring position now with 1 out. Just seems, again, like Marion Local, every inning, they just keep coming at New Bremen offensively.
Bryant Meyer has a 2-1 count at the plate. And that pitch is inside, and it hit him. So Meyer is on, and I think you mentioned that earlier in our pregame today, Dave, that Nelson had hit 8 batters coming into today. That would be the 9th. Tried to squeeze things inside a bit. Here's Parker Hess with a single and an RBI today. Is also on by an error.
New Bremen again. They're battling out there, but putting themselves in a tough position. 2 on, 1 out. Parker Hess, your batter.
And that was in the dirt. Runner going to third. Here's the throw.
Nice job.
Got him. Good play by Rissmiller. Good play by Saylor. And they get the runner at third, Heitkamp, and knock him down.
Saylor did a great job of digging that one out of the grass, and then he put the glove right on Heitkamp as he came sliding in there. Heitkamp thought that ball got away from Rissmiller more than it did. I understand his aggressive play right there, but it is a much-needed out for New Bremen.
1 knows the count. Now, 2-0. Didn't you tell me, Dave, that in their game against Parkway on Wednesday, they had 5 times New Bremen knocked a guy off on the base pass?
Exactly. They were very, very good defensively against Parkway. And those were situations where I understood why the Parkway runner was doing what he was doing. It wasn't a poor base running decision. It was just outstanding execution by New Bremen. And when you get 5 outs during the course of a high school baseball game on the base paths, you're going to win more often than not.
2-1, Hess. That one's roped foul down in the bullpen area to make it 2-2. Damon Kramer's on deck. Bryant Meyer back to first base he goes. Bryant scored both times. He's been on up to bat today. He's been on and scored both times. Outside. Full count. And with 2 outs, that will allow Meyer to turn the wheels on.
Yep, he'll be moving on the pitch. Again, take note of how James Nelson varies his looks to first.
That ball's hit foul. Got it on the fists and hit that down into the park down there.
Makes it tough on Bryant Meyer to get a real good jump on him. That last time he peeked over there 2 times. Let's see what he does this time. One look, 2 looks, 3.
That ball's fouled away.
It's just a little thing, but it's a big thing, Mark.
Yep.
It's a nuance of the game.
And that will be the 7th pitch of this at-bat. That ball's hit to the shortstop, and it's bobbled.
That one stayed right along the grass. It was a worm killer the whole way, but Caleb Keller unable to come up with it, and that's going to be an error. And here they are again. If Heitkamp wouldn't have been thrown out at third, they'd have the bases loaded, but instead they still have a runner in scoring position. 2 on, 2 outs for Damon Kramer.
Each team has 3 errors in the game now. Kramer's walked in single today. When he walked in the first inning, he scored.
They called it 7-5, but I'm pretty sure it was 6-5. It wasn't
The second baseman dancing around, Tinnerman, that's a good breaking ball.
The bad news for New Bremen, again, Marion Local has 2 on. The good news for New Bremen, 2 outs. All you got to do here is touch a bag on a ball in the infield.
Kanapke's on deck. Ball's grounded. Here's the third baseman, Saylor. Thought about making a tag. Instead, throws it across the diamond, and they get an out at first base. So the score will remain at 8-3 at the end of 4. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. To the 5th we go. Our premier sponsors, Home and Interiors in New Bremen. We're ready to partner with you or on your home renovation or on your new build. And our 5th inning sponsor is Speedway Lanes in New Bremen. Brings family and friends together with bowling, fun, and great food for everyone.
New Bremen down 5 runs. They've got 9 outs to play with, Mark. They need to use them wisely.
Owen Bornhorst will step in. That's 1-1 as we go to the 5th. Bornhorst has been on twice today, both on error. Chokes up on the bat. And that time Parker S. playing a little hard ball.
Sure did. Came up and in right there. And again, he's just going to keep pounding the strike zone with the 5-run lead.
The pitch is high.
And
2-2.
We said New Bremen has the 9 outs to play with, and this is the top of the lineup. This is where, again, they've got to make some noise, make some hay, whatever cliche you want to use. But it'd be very, very fortuitous of them to get some runs on the board here in the top of the 5th.
Pitch is down. Runs the count full. Bornhorst chokes up on the bat, but when he gets 2 strikes, he really chokes up on the bat. And that ball is fouled back.
And, you know, that's a fundamental you don't always see anymore. I totally believe in that. You got 2 strikes on you. You need to turn into a singles hitter. Just make contact, put pressure on the defense.
And got him looking.
But when you put it on the outer third like Parker Hess did right there, all you can do is trot back to the dugout.
The 3rd strikeout today for Parker Hess. Our strikeout sponsor is Home and Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. Strikeouts in inning 2, 3, and now 5. That ball's grounded up the middle. Here's Bruns. Gets the high hop and throws him out. Griffin Bruns with a good play. Makes a 6-3 out.
A confident play by Griffin Bruns. Fielded that ball in front of second base, and then the fundamental crow hop to first. 2 up, 2 down, and a confident play because, again, this Marion Local squad, they're a bunch of old men, 8 seniors and 2 juniors out there in the field.
Gavin Quellhorst, who is 0 for 2 today. Ground ball and a foul ball out to the 3rd baseman. Takes a strike for the first pitch. Hess back to the plate. That ball's hit up the middle, and that's going to get down. Laws cuts it off and gets it back in quickly, but Gavin Quellhorst goes 1 for 3 on the day. And we'll bring up Dylan Wendt.
Nice piece of hitting there again by Quellhorst. Just went with the pitch. Marion Local outfield playing fairly deep here, keeping everything in front of them. They hold him to a single.
4 hits in the game today for the New Bremen Cardinals. That ball's hit, and that's going to be hit number 5 as Wendt lines one between short and third. So back-to-back hits with 2 outs. We'll bring up Brady Keller. Brady has one of those 5 hits today. He's also flied out to center field, scored a run in the 2nd inning.
New Bremen trying to do it the hard way as far as putting a run on the scoreboard here in the top of the 5th inning. Doing all of this with 2 outs.
Bruns way back behind the second base. That's a strike. He's trying to hold the runner on, but he also leaves a giant hole where the shortstop typically would play.
Yeah, he's trying to hustle back to get in position. Now he's back where he normally would
Kramer
play.
makes a break at it instead. That ball's hit. First baseman makes a play. Can they get out at first? The answer is no. And that's going to allow one run to score. And the runner gets to second. Fifth hit. And the run will score. Actually, let's see how they already had 5 hits. How they score that one, Dave? Yes, they call it. I thought they should. Hit and error, but that does allow Quellhorst to score the 4th Cardinal run, and also allow Wendt to get to third. And with the overthrow, Keller ends up on second. 4th error of the game for Marion Local makes it 8-4, and we'll bring in Jack Saylor with 2 runners in scoring position.
Doing all this with 2 outs are the Cardinals, 2 in scoring position. If Saylor can find some green out there, they could make this very interesting, cutting the lead to just 2.
He just walked off Madison, 6-5.
That pitch is down.
But again,
2-0.
that last ball hit by Brady Keller again. Make the defense execute. And in that situation, if the first baseman, Austin Heckman, hangs on to that, or excuse me, Derek Kanapke.
Foul ball. Let's see if Peppelman can get to it.
He does, yeah.
Peppelman runs it down in foul territory. Cardinals pick up 1. It'll be 8-4 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Tonight's baseball game in Coldwater is presented by Charles River and Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. It's an 8-4 game. And the leadoff hitter will be Derek Kanapke. For the Marion Local Flyers, Camden Eifert and Griffin Bruns. James Nelson's pitch is high to open the inning to Derek Kanapke. Swinging strike. Good
you know,
pitch.
Mark, this has been a game where Marion Local scored 6 in the bottom of the first. It feels like they've been in control, but New Bremen's been like that mosquito that you just can't swat. They just keep hanging around and keep battling and keep battling. A lot of credit to Coach Wells and his team. They put 1 up in the top of the 5th. They come away with a 0 here and get back in there.
And Nelson got him looking.
Yes, nicely done.
His 3rd strikeout today, a home and insurance strikeout. Your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. 3rd strikeout today for Nelson. Hess also has 3 strikeouts today as Eifert steps in. That ball's hit to the shortstop. Keller with the pickup and got a 6-3 out. And we'll go to the top of the order, and Griffin Bruns in the 5th inning.
And again, James Nelson has put himself in position to have a clean inning, a 1-2-3 inning. Has not had that yet in this game. Perfect time for it if you're a Cardinal fan.
Bruns is 2 for 3 today, scored a run. Catalyst at the top of the order. Pitches a ball.
Yeah, it won't be easy. He's going to have to earn it here with Griffin Bruns at the plate.
Outside of that, still trying to get something going, had that pop out as well. Pitch all the way.
That breaking ball is high, makes it 2-0. I had 1-1. Is it 2-0, Dave? Scoreboard says 2-0.
Yeah, that's what the scoreboard says.
Pitch is inside. And now they changed it to 3-0. So I guess we'll go with the scoreboard.
See if Nelson can climb the ladder here down. 3 balls, 0 strikes.
And it's a 4-pitch walk. 4th walk today for James Nelson. And Ian Rindler will step in. Ian's 0 for 3 today. He struck out once.
So the clean inning goes awry for New Bremen. Now they just want to make sure.
Bruns is going. Here's the throw to second,
boy.
and that one slipped out of his hand. In a major league way, that slipped out of his hands, and stolen base for Bruns.
Yeah, you can't flaunt the effort. But Rissmiller, I thought it was going to go clear out to the outfield, but Bennett Tinnerman just planted underneath it and keeps Bruns at second base. But Marion Local with 2 outs, they have a runner in scoring position
He
again.
had that base stolen anyway.
He did.
Yeah, it was a good effort by Rissmiller, but the ball got out of his hand in an odd manner, swinging strike. Makes it 1-1.
Rissmiller, a freshman back there behind the plate for New Bremen.
Pitches a strike on the outside corner, runs it 1-2.
AJ, when he gets more time under his belt there, he'll turn around and look at the home plate umpire like, hey, I hit you there on that throw.
Yeah, blame it on somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That ball's grounded. Here's Keller, the shortstop. And the first baseman, Heckman, makes the stretch into play. And Rindler will go out on a 6-3 ground out. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Flyers 8, Cardinals 4. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Today's premier sponsor is Home and Interiors in New Bremen. We are ready to partner with you on your home renovation or on your new build. As we go to the 6th inning, our inning sponsor is Speedway Lanes in New Bremen. Bring family and friends together with bowling fun and great food for everyone. And we go to the 6th, and in the 6th that we will see, looking for my lineup, Rissmiller, Heckman, and Tinnerman, 7, 8, and 9.
Opening up the top half of inning number 6. Parker Hess still
Looking at what Parker Hess has done today, struck out 3. He's got 1 walk he's given up today. He's given up 6 hits. Throwing a lot of pitches, Dave. You know, the support has not been a typical Marion Local support. I guess that's the best way to say it. He's thrown a lot of pitches today.
Yeah, they have 4 errors on the board due the Marion Local Flyers. But Parker Hess, he's battled. He's done what you need your number 2 to do in this situation. Keep your team in contention. And he's held New Bremen at bay with just the 4 runs up to this point.
First pitch is inside to Rissmiller. That ball's going to be hit to Bruns and short hop play, and a good throw from Griffin Bruns. Nice play.
Outstanding play at shortstop by Griffin Bruns. Charges it, tries to get it on that big hop, but he can't get there quickly enough, but he places a short hop to perfection. 1 up, 1 down for Marion Local.
To Austin Heckman we go. And is Heckman being called back? He is, Dave. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Austin Heckman. Got a number on this one, Dave?
Number 19.
Number 19.
Levi Grevenkamp, I believe. He's a freshman.
Okay, so in the 6th inning, we get a pinch hitter. Tinnerman's on deck, and we'll see if he chooses to hit. So Giggenkamp will step in. Grevenkamp. Could hit a ground ball. Bruns gets to it. Could he make the play? What a throw. He got him.
Great play.
Yep.
We thought the last one was spectacular. Well, this one doubled the money as Bruns again goes deep to his right and then shows the arm to retire Grevenkamp. 2 pitches or 2 batters, 2 outs.
Well, we've talked a little bit about this is not a typical Marion Local defense with 4 errors today. But then we've seen 2 outstanding plays back-to-back by their shortstop.
Yeah, put a star by both of those.
Yes, sir. Here's Tinnerman to step in. That's going to be grounded to Bruns. Pickup, throw, got him again. It was a Griffin Bruns defensive inning. He gets all 3 ground ball outs, and we will go to the bottom of the 6th. The Cardinals trailing the Flyers 8-4. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Today's baseball game is presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. And our scoreboard sponsor today is Wabash Mutual Telephone, a proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Flyers will send up number 10, Ethan Heitkamp, number 42, Hayden Pempelman, and number 6, Bryant Meyer. Hitters number 3, 4, and 5 in their lineup.
We go back to that last half inning as Griffin Bruns has the trifecta. 3 assists to retire the side.
High.
And the kind of season he has had, it just speaks to how competitive the MAC is when Griffin Bruns does not make any type of all-league honor.
Pitch is down, 2-0. Yeah, I had to check my roster just to make sure. I mean, I did not have him listed as an all-conference player, and I thought, well, did I miss it? No, he did not, but boy, is he a good player.
Very good player, and with what we've seen both Wednesday night and tonight, I'd do some politicking for him.
2-0. Strike on the outside part of the plate makes it 2-1. Flyers hoping this is their final at-bat today.
Trying to get himself through this inning before he's disqualified with 125.
2-2.
They hope it's their last at-bat. James Nelson would like to put another 0 up there. It's been adventurous, but if he gets the 0 this inning, it'll be 4 in a row. Marion Local will have only scored in the first and second inning. It hasn't seemed that clean for New Bremen, but again, Nelson has battled.
That'll run the count full to the leadoff hitter, Heitkamp. He walked and stole the base last inning. Back in the 4th inning. And he swings and misses. So that will be the 4th strikeout today from Nelson. Our strikeout sponsor is Holman Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. Second time he's rung up Ethan Heitkamp today, and Peppelman will step in. 2 for 3, scored a couple, knocked one in. Pitch is inside.
With a total of 7 strikeouts between Nelson and Parker Hess, both pitchers are pitching to contact. But again, those strikeouts have been very important when they've occurred.
Well, speaking of pitching to contact,
yes.
Peppelman just contacted one to the wall. He's going to head to second and coast in. His coach Mitchell Hayes throws up the stop sign, and Hayden Peppelman has a double today. He's got a 2 for 3 or 3 for 4 day going for him.
Nice swing from the left side of the plate. Buries it out there to the fence between center and right field. And Peppelman, again, he's another one. Leads the league in home runs, batted .309, and no all-league honors.
Bryant Meyer will step in and throw back to second. I kind of get that a little bit, Dave. You're 5-4 in the conference.
Yes.
There are teams above you in the conference. Coldwater was outstanding this year. And of course, 5 of the MAC teams are playing in district finals this weekend. Pitch is high. And we had situations like we had in here Wednesday night when, New Bremen knocks out Parkway. And, we've had games like that. Tomorrow, St. John's and Minster will play. One of those will be out. So, foul ball.
Yeah, by no stretch of the imagination am I saying the voting was incorrect. I think I'm trying to emphasize it's just how good you have to be to earn all league honors in the Midwest Athletic Conference.
1-1's the count on Meyer. And that ball is roped foul. Got a pitcher warming up in the bullpen who we cannot see because of the dugout situation. And his guard down there is supposed to catch the ball and waved at it. It's 1-2. Peppelman with just a small lead at second base. Pitch is in the dirt, and that's going to be a wild pitch that'll move the runner up to third.
And just to finish that thought on all-league honors, these players, they would give up all-league honors for a deep tournament run any day of the week and twice on Sunday just because of the competitive nature and wanting to win as a team.
Coach Wells says we got to pull the infield in on this one. Everybody's
sure
on the grass. Trying to cut that run off and keep it at a 4-run deficit as they head to their at-bats in the 7th. Pitch is high, and we will go full count on Bryant Meyer with Parker Hess on deck.
Nelson's just got to lock in. He's been doing it all night long when his back's up against the fence. He's been able to come through.
And got him looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 5th Holman Insurance strikeout for Nelson. And that will be in fact, he struck out, 4 out of the last 5? 3 out of the last 4. The double sandwiched in there was, nope, I guess that's not correct, is it? 3.
Well, he's got 3 in the last 2 innings.
6.
Yeah.
How's that? 3 out of the last 6 as Hess steps in. Pitch is up a bit. I've only been keeping scorebook for about the last 65 years, and you'd think you could read a scorebook a little quicker than that, wouldn't you?
Well, I'm using the green marker for strikeouts. You got on me about that Wednesday night, so I got her going again.
I didn't get on you. I was just commenting on what is a normal.
Oh, it's like we've worked together. Is this Harry Carey and Steve Stone? That's my question.
I hope not. 2 outs. 2-0's the count. Now 3-0.
And Mark, we haven't mentioned it. We've got Riley Bolton in here in the press box with us doing a little shadowing. We're showing him and telling him and everything not to do. But we've enjoyed Riley's presence with us this evening, a Parkway grad.
Future Defiance College Yellow Jacket. Look by Nelson. Here's the pitch. And it's on the inside corner. And that'll make it 3-1 as Hess was taking all the way.
And I saw your chest sort of, expand a little bit, being a DC alumnus.
Fond memories of my days there. There's a strike. That'll run the count full.
You've got a 4-run cushion if you're Marion local, but that's a big run sitting down there at third just to put another run on the board as New Bremen looks to face or have their last at bat.
Nelson back to the plate. That's going to be a foul ball. As we are in the bottom of the 6th with a relief pitcher warming up in the bullpen, I got to think he's close to his 125 limit.
I would think so.
Now you can finish a batter if you get to 125, but you cannot start the next batter after you reach that particular level. So here's the pitch. And that's outside, and he walked him.
And he takes a peek into the dugout after that ball 4.
So that's the 5th walk of the game today for James Nelson. And that will bring in Kanapke. Kanapke singled, knocked in a run, and scored in the opening inning, and since then has flied out and struck out. And here goes the coach to the mound. I'm guessing pitching change, Dave. Let's take a break. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We're back at Veterans Field here in Coldwater. Coach Wells has left James Nelson in the game, so he's not reached that 125 mark yet. Let him kind of calm down a little bit and maybe talk about how to play with runners on 1st and 3rd and 2 outs. Pitch is high.
We've seen both teams go with the early break. Wondering if that's what Marion local may do here again. I'm sure that was a point of discussion at the mound. And also to give James Nelson just an opportunity to regroup here.
1-0 is the count. That ball's fouled away. That'll make it 1-1.
Nelson has given everything he's got in this game. I know he's given up the 8 runs, but there were some errors in there as well. They're not all earned, and they were in the first 2 innings. It's been 0 since for the Flyers.
1-1. There goes the runner.
There's
Gonna
your early
step back.
break.
Going to run him back. Peppelman's looking at what to do, and they're going to just allow Hess to get back to first base.
A lot of action that you can't put in the scorebook in any way, shape, or form.
So the count will stay at 1-1 with 2 outs to Kramer. Nelson, that's grounded to third. Saylor makes the pickup. Here's his throw across the diamond and got him.
Nice job.
That was. Kramer will go out 5-3. And with the go to the top of the 7th with Marion Local on top, 8-4. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We go to the top of the 7th. Bremen will go with the top of the order, and Bornhorst, Keller, and Gavin Quellhorst. Dave, you mentioned Riley Bolton was here with us today, and he pointed out there are actually 6 MHC teams in the district, and Fort Recovery won today, so they're going to move on. How about that when your league puts 6 out of 10 teams in the district, and 3 of them at least are going to end up in the regionals. How about that? Maybe Coldwater would be 4. You just don't know how that'll play out.
And right now,
here's
as you said, yep, we go to the top of the 7th. New Bremen, no tomorrow. Down 4. Pull out all the tricks that you've got.
6-hitter today for Parker Hess.
See what you can do.
Struck out 3, walked 1, and Bornhorst want to do his job and get on base, takes the opening pitch for a ball.
Right there. Bornhorst might have been able to lean into that one with the front shoulder and get down to first on the hit by pitch.
That ball is ripped foul and down by the dugout. Scattered a couple people down there. Makes it 1-1.
We've talked about how James Nelson has battled Parker Hess. Outstanding effort for Marion Local on the hill tonight.
Great breaking ball for a strike that time. That's as good a breaking ball as he's thrown. 1-2's the count. Got him tied up on the inside part of the plate.
Sure did. Bornhorst not able to take his normal cut.
And that's just kind of tipped foul or not. So what's the call, Dave? He did not foul it off, correct?
He did not.
A strike. It was off the catcher's glove, so we're going to get a strikeout, and we're going to get an error on the throw, get him into first base.
So E2, and the first batter reaches for New Bremen.
I thought it was a foul ball. Nobody else did, so that will be the 5th error of the game. But they get the leadoff hitter on as they wanted, and that pitch is low. That is the 4th strikeout today. A Holman Insurance strikeout today for Parker Hess. But the leadoff runner is on. And a good lead by Bornhorst. Pitch is inside. It'll go to 2-0.
Good lead, but he needs to be conservative. Yeah. His run means nothing in the big picture other than they need to score it. So he's got to be smart out there on the base paths. Can't afford to get picked off.
That pitch is also inside. Makes it 3-0. And now we get somebody down in the bullpen. Looks like a right-hander, Dave. If I can get glasses on him, I'll tell you who he is. Keller. Takes a strike, 3-1.
Caleb Keller tried to work that one into a ball by the home plate umpire, Ryan Diedemeyer, but Diedemeyer would have nothing of it.
3-1. Oh, what looked like a good pitch, but he took it, and it ended up being a ball on the inside part of the plate. And 2 runners on for New Bremen. 2nd walk of the game, and Riley Bolden's got better eyes than you or I do with those young eyes he got. So just Luke Everman in the bullpen right now. We got a little bit of meeting on the mound. See what Coach Hayes chooses to do.
Again, like we talked about, Mark, on Wednesday night, the game of baseball, not on a clock. You've got to earn those 3 outs. And in this Division VI, previously Division IV district tournament at Coldwater, over the years, unique things always seem to happen. New Bremen trying to keep that streak alive, down 4, but they've got 2 on with nobody out. And number 7, Gavin Quellhorse at the plate.
First team all-conference player who ripped a single in his last at-bat and scored the 4th run for New Bremen. That ball is hit on a line drive to that shortstop named Griffin Bruns.
An Adam ball, because Quellhorse, he connected on that just right at the shortstop, Griffin Bruns. Bruns makes sure that he catches it and then thinks about maybe doubling somebody up. But again, the New Bremen base runners, nice job of getting back to the bags.
But perfectly played. He was playing a little bit towards the second base anyway with the runner there. And that ball is fouled back by Dylan Wendt. Dylan Wendt today is 1 for 3. Had a single in the 5th inning. And that's a swinging strike. Fooled him with that pitch. It's 0-2.
So Coach Hayes went out to the mound, and it seems like Marion Local has regrouped here.
And Wendt was going to step back. 274 hitter on the season with 15 RBI. Brady Keller's on deck. Brady's had a good day today. He's 2 for 3.
Parker Hess firing strikes now.
And got him looking. Called strike 3 becomes the 5th strikeout today, brought to you by Home and Insurance. And Marion Local Flyers are an out away from going to the regional. Brady Keller will step in. The Cardinals trying to keep it going here with Saylor on deck. Foul ball. Has he reached back a little bit the last couple of batters since his coach has been to the mound?
Absolutely. Refocused. Little check up from the neck up, whatever you want to say, Mark, but Parker Hess, he's firing bullets again.
And fired a bullet right into the back of Brady Keller. His first hit batter today, but that will load the bases now and bring up Saylor.
Yeah, brings the tying run to the plate. Tough ballpark to hit it out, but down the lines, be your best opportunity. 335 at the left field foul pole.
266 hitter on the season. He's got 16 RBIs, does Saylor, and his crowd hoping he can tack a couple of numbers onto that right here. 2 outs. Breaking ball this time is a strike.
Parker Hess again, when he's needed that strike, he's going to the outer third, does so right there. Saylor, a good decision not to swing at it. Nothing he could have done with it.
0-1. That ball's fouled away. 0-2. Cardinals down to their final strike. 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
I think we'll see the breaking ball right here, Mark.
See if he can chase one. And he got him with a fastball on the inside corner. 3rd strikeout of the inning. And Marion Local will take a district championship game and watch the fellas celebrate.
Just a great effort all the way around. The Flyers put 8 runs up in the first 2 innings, and then they hold New Bremen at bay. Parker Hess, maybe not his cleanest outing of the year, but as far as being a battler and showing a lot of grit and determination, top of the list.
It's medal presentation and trophy presentation night here at Coldwater. Dave will be back with a post game and an opportunity to watch that medal presentation, trophy presentation. And we'll try to get an interview with the winning coach as well. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We're back at Coldwater Veterans Field. Marion local Flyers have taken an 8-4 win today over the New Bremen Cardinals. They will move into the regionals next week. In our post-game show, Dave, I think the first thing we need to point out is it's another big first inning for the Marion local Flyers. They kind of put them in this position.
It did. They score 6 in the bottom of the first, and they have all of their runs, all 8 of them, after 2 frames. But don't let this score deceive you. New Bremen kept coming at them. Parker Hess from the pitcher's mound had to keep battling for Marion local, and he did so. He had a really good night as far as fighting through every adverse situation for Marion local to give them this district championship game.
You see the Flyers catching their medals in the background here. Parker Hess all 7 innings today. Gave up 6 hits, struck out 6, walked 3. And really gave up those 4 runs, Dave. I thought he pitched really, really well at times today. And as you said, battled through some adversity with 5 errors by his teammates.
Exactly. And then in the 7th inning, the bases end up being loaded against him. But what does he do? He strikes out the side in between batters. And again, between batters that reached, I should say, for New Bremen. Again, it just shows his stick-to-itiveness, his grit, his determination to carry his teammates along a little bit tonight, and again, get this win for Marion local.
The district champion Marion local Flyers will play Elmwood on Wednesday, and Patrick Henry. That will be a 2 p.m. game with a chance to move on to a regional championship as well. I want to thank our sponsors today: Betty's Natural Foods, Wabash Mutual Telephone, Holman Insurance, Speedway Lanes, Charles River, and Holman's Interior. I want to thank Eric Goodwin, the excellent tournament manager / AD here at Coldwater. Our crew today has been Abby Beck and Jacob O'Neill. Thanks to Riley Bolton for setting in, helping us out a little bit today as well. David and I are going to try to get down to the field. We're going to try to lasso an interview with Coach Hayes. We're back at Coldwater with a winning district championship coach, Mitchell Hayes. Coach, once again, you got a great first inning to get you started.
Yeah, I mean, that's key to our team. They get it started, get it going, and then we just need to get better at continuing it through the game. But it's always nice to have crooked numbers early in the game, and then today we added on in the second, which we didn't do last game. But
Coach, you were the #1 seed coming into this game, but a year ago you got here and you had a tough loss to a Fort Recovery team and went all the way to the championship game. Any pressure on your guys today?
no, we didn't look at it as pressure. We just look at it as this is our 3rd year in a row being here. We have to finish, and at times we didn't make it look very good, but we got the job done.
Well, maybe your defense wasn't as good as it typically is, but your shortstop had a great game today.
Yeah, Griffin's a unique kid. He can do many things, steal bases, hit balls, field balls in the hole. He's just a tremendous athlete. We got several of them, but Griff's probably at the top.
And you got a wonderful catcher too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's been great having him for 4 years. We're going to miss him next year. Hopefully he can get us through 4 more games. So.
And Parker Hess, not his best game of the season, but he battled all game long.
Yeah, him and Ian both. That's what they are. They battle. Hess didn't have a good fastball today, and I think that was the difference, and they got a lot of balls in play, which we expected. But like I say, when his good fastball's on, his changeup's working, he's really hard to hit.
Congratulations, Coach. Good luck in the regionals.
All right, thank you.
All right. Dave, our final telecast of the year, and it was a really good one. Congratulations to Marion Local. They had a great game today.
Absolutely. They improved to 17-8. They're our district champions. And we talked about Bruns. We talked about Hess. One guy that we haven't talked about is Hayden Peppelman. Hayden was 3 for 4 with a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Just did a lot at the plate quietly, but yet they were big runs for Marion Local.
Dave, our final telecast of the spring, fall, and winter. It's been a really good time. Really enjoyed working with you.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. And whoever comes out of this D6 district, we wish them the best of luck, but they've earned it. And now Marion Local on to the regional. We'll see what happens.
Marion Local wraps this up with an 8-4 win today over the New Bremen Cardinals. You've been watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN.